Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our Let's Play of Sonic Generations 3DS, and today we are moving on very swiftly to Zone 3, aka the Mushroom Hill Zone, which was the first zone in, was it Sonic 3 or it was Sonic & Knuckles, wasn't it? First zone in Sonic & Knuckles, back on the Sega Mega Drive / Genesis. Now back in the day, Sonic & Knuckles was released a little bit of time after Sonic the Hedgehog 3. And the unique thing about Sonic & Knuckles was that the cartridge could actually accept other Mega Drive games or Genesis games if you're in the US in order to add extra features to whatever it was you was playing. And the main one, of course, was that you could connect Sonic the Hedgehog 3 into Sonic & Knuckles and actually play it as one big game with levels from both games. With the added advantage that you could also play as either Knuckles or Tails, as opposed to only one or the other, depending on if you only had one game in the console. But yeah, Sonic 3 and Knuckles, as it was called, was almost certainly my favourite 2D side-scrolling Sonic game. Back in my youth, I really had a whole lot of fun, especially playing with mates after school and stuff. And yeah, it's great to see that the Mushroom Hill Zone's been included in Sonic Generations 3DS. In the console version, we got Sky Sanctuary, which was one of the final levels, and it was only actually a minor level in Sonic & Knuckles, but it's been expanded for the console version of Sonic Generations. I think I would have preferred, my only gripe with this game is that you only get 3 levels from the classic era, and I understand why they've done it. They want it to be uniform, as in 3 levels from the classic era, 3 from the 3D era, and 3 from the modern era. And I think it would have been better if maybe they just had, say, 2 from the modern era. 2 from the 3D era and 1 from the modern era, because we all remember Sonic Colors and Sonic 2006, which sucked, by the way. So it would have been interesting to have, say, 5 or 6 levels from the classic era, because that's what Sonic Generations is really about, in my opinion. It's about the nostalgia that you get from playing updated levels of the really old classics. And I think it's cool that, you know, we get, what do we get? Green Hills, Casino Night and Mushroom Hill here in this version. And Green Hills and Chemical Plant and Sky Sanctuary in the console version. But I would have loved to have seen some other levels as well, like if you go back to Sonic 1, we had Scrap Brain, which was a pretty fun level to play. And, oh, I need to dodge that thing, I'm going to get attacked. Let's see if we can just use the spring or spin dash instead to get up. Yeah, we don't need that machine. But yeah, like Scrap Brain from Sonic 1 or the Marble Zone. Incidentally, there haven't been any levels given to us from Sonic 2, from the Game Gear version. I'm not sure if many of you have played that. I don't think it was very highly rated, and it was an extremely difficult game. It was also available, I believe, on the Master System, but it was actually much harder on the Game Gear. The bosses on that were absolutely solid, and it was completely different to the Genesis version or the Mega Drive version of Sonic 2. So yeah, I think that was quite forgotten about by a lot of people, which is probably why they didn't include any levels from it. I don't blame them for that. But I love some of the levels from Sonic 3 and Knuckles as well that we haven't seen here. Like, I like the Lava Reef Zone. I thought the music to that was really catchy. And what was the ice level from Sonic 3? I cannot remember what it was called, but I enjoyed that as well. We got something similar in the last episode of Sonic 4, didn't we? A snowy level set in a theme park. But now this is pretty awesome. And I don't mind the fact that it's side-scrolling on the modern levels either, since I've always preferred the 2D side-scrolling game to the 3D Sonic. I did like the 3D levels in Sonic Generations, but I still prefer the 2D ones. But that's not because they're probably any better, it's just my own nostalgia talking. I think a lot of people confuse nostalgia with quality. But this is still quite modern, I suppose, for the handheld. I mean, this is reminiscent really of games like Sonic Rush and Sonic Colors for the DS, where you had the boost gauge, but you were still 2D side-scrolling. So it does kind of make sense, really. We don't want to fall down there, do we? Let's try and get back up. Oh, we need to wall jump. If I can. Like I said before, it's actually really hard to control the Sonic when I'm playing the Nintendo 3DS on a flat surface. But trust me, if I didn't do that, then if I was holding it in my hands, it would be shaking all over the place. So it's the lesser of two evils, really. I'm sure you can all put up with it. It is kind of sad in both versions of this game that you don't get the end of level bosses that you should be getting in Sonic games. I mean, it would be cool to have the boss appropriate to the level that you just completed. And for instance, the Mushroom Hill boss was I'm trying to think what it was actually. You was trying to jump and dodge under spikes, I think, spike bridges or something, while chasing after Robotnik. So it was quite a fun boss. It would have been nice to see in HD resolution. Well, I say HD in 3DS resolution. Anyway, that's both of the Mushroom Hill levels down and done. So we have the third special stage now in order to tackle. And I think it's cool that they have included special stages in this version of the game, because they didn't in the console version. But I do kind of wish that they'd brought back one of the traditional special stages. I mean, maybe this is a special stage in one of the modern versions of the game that I haven't played, I'm not sure. But seeing as how it's Sonic Generations, it does seem weird that we get a brand new special stage. I mean, it would have been cool if this was in Sonic 4, for instance, because it is a good special stage, don't get me wrong, it's fun. And then have the Sonic 2 special stage return for this. Let's try and dodge all these bombs. There's a few more scattered around now since the last level. And since I'm looking at the screen from behind my camcorder, it makes things a little bit trickier. But that's all the fun, isn't it? And that's what happens. I'm not going to give up just yet, though. We are getting quite close to the Emerald, according to the bottom 3DS screen, which I know you guys can't see, but there it is. And we're done. Another episode finished. That's the Mushroom Hill Zone. Anyway, if you've liked this video, please rate it up. I've been Fuzzfinger, and I'll see you next time.